Welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here, and this is how to use Wigglytuff. So Wigglytuff's base stats look a bit awkward at first glance. You have these huge, awesome hit points, but then you have these really low defenses and really low speed to work with that. But you also have an okay special attack. I would like a better special attack if I'm going to be using a Pokemon, but you can make it work with Wigglytuff, and we'll get into that later. But first, when I'm looking at these stats, I'm thinking, you know what? Trick Room. I think that's a good Trick Room Pokemon. You have this good health bulk, and the name of the game is trying to survive as many hits as possible while trying to dish out some hits back. You're going to have you have a decent amount of survivability even with those bad defenses, and unfortunately you don't have any moves to boost your defenses, so you've got one shot to make it all count. But that doesn't mean that Wigglytuff is useless. If we look at its typing, normal fairy type is a really cool type to look at. You only have 2 weaknesses, 2 resistances, 2 immunities, and then the rest is really just neutral hits. Now, while it's not a great switch-in tanky kind of Pokemon, it's just a good all-around Pokemon to where you're not going to have to worry about too many threats. Also, I think it's cool that with the normal fairy, you lose your resistance to fighting, but you also take away the weakness from normal, so everything just balances out really well, and you end up with like a free immunity to ghost, is how I feel. It's just cool. So, on top of that, let's just go into Pokemon Showdown and see what movesets we have for Wigglytuff. So Wigglytuff is strong in theory kind of idea, that it has great coverage, great move pool. You know, you have Ice, Fire, Charge Beam for electricity, and Dazzling Gleam Stab for a lot of good fairy type hits. So overall, I mean, you have something to work with. Flamethrower handles those fighting, or not the fighting types, those Bug Steel, except for Scizor, that priority is really going to ruin you for the Bullet Punch. But other than that, you still have Ice Beam, you still have for the dragons, and then you can get some good damage out. Now, the biggest thing about Wigglytuff to make it work is that you need this competitive ability, and you need it to go off. Wigglytuff becomes a very high-risk, high-reward Pokemon. If you want to beat people up with the Puff, hey, that actually kind of worked. I wasn't expecting that to come out of my mouth as well as it did. If you want to expect to beat people with this, you need to get that competitive boost off of like an Intimidate, off of some form where they're trying to weaken you, and then you can really just go to work with that hot raised special attack as they're not doing as much damage back to you because of your good hit point bulk. Now, the way I see this working, singles Trick Room is an option. You're going to try to just get some big hits in. Also, doubles Trick Room. Better option because a lot of people try to bring Intimidate to doubles. A lot of people, you have a lot more options to just like hit multiple people with Dazzling Gleam. That's kind of where you're looking at this. Now, on top of that, you could try to put some speed investment in. Let's see, where's Timid Nature? Try to get some speed investment in as long as you know you can make that work, and then maybe have like a Tailwind behind you. I don't really see the Choice Scarf being worth it for you. Even with that, Choice Scarf's barely going to put you over 150 speed at level 50 or 300 speed at level 100, so Choice Scarf's not really an option. Your special attack isn't that high. It's all about if that competitive goes off and you can keep some kind of speed priority. So pretty much you can kind of have this really good move pool and not much to do with it, or you can just go with Dazzling Gleam, Choice Specs, competitive in doubles, and see if you can get that going. Like Trick Room would be awesome. If you can get that doubles Trick Room, I've seen Wigglytuff's sweeps. One of my Fan Fridays was essentially this strategy that, you know, it came in, ate up the Intimidate, and then went to work on the opponent. So if you can get that off, it's pretty much just having the confidence and the satisfaction that you just pulled off a huge Wigglytuff sweep. It's doable. It's just very hard, very risky. Wouldn't recommend it, but if you really want to make Wigglytuff work, that's kind of what you have to aim for. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you all have a nice day.